Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Friday, August 24th, 2018. Want to send out a couple thank yous and have a few announcements. So first, I want to thank the Hawaii Informer. They used their platform to promote the video I put out the other day about the significance of Hurricane Lane, this rare storm impacting Hawaii, and what it has to do with today's date, August 24th, 2018. If you missed that video, please check it out. Very important. And again, thank you, Hawaii Informer, for sharing it. I see you have 320,000 subscribers, so I hope this information is reaching a lot of people. People of Hawaii deserve to know about their very terrible 2018 so far and what is truly going on, from the missile scare to the volcanic eruptions to this latest storm. Hawaii's had a lot of strange weather phenomenon this year. I should go back and look at the day where they set the record for most rainfall in a day. It was incredible if you didn't hear about that. I was too busy working at the time and forgot to decode it, but I will. Also, put out a video on the worst earthquake in 100 years in Venezuela. And what was interesting about that, coming on August 21st, the day leaving 132 days left in the year. In the language of Gematria, Venezuela equals 132, and it's the language of Gematria that you need to know to see through weather warfare and unnatural disasters. So, I asked if anybody down there could give me some feedback on the earthquake, and this person wrote, "Zach, I live very close to where the earthquake took place. I find it very strange that 15 to 20 seconds before the ground started shaking, you could hear a loud sound that sounded like a low-frequency bass speaker. The galvanized roof started vibrating like crazy. Then the quake shook for over a minute. Later on that day, someone posted on Facebook a video of the ocean with patterns that looked like stretch marks on a fat person, or as if a frequency was being blasted through the water. I don't know if this is normal. I have never experienced this before with other quakes." And unfortunately, I cut off the rest of his comment. I didn't mean to do that. But just right there is enough. Our own media has clued us in the last decade to the military technology HARP that uses low-frequency waves in very powerful concentration to conduct experiments. And those experiments can even cause the ground to quake. We also, as I've covered, discussed how for more than 4 decades, the U.S. military planted very powerful explosives underground in the oceans to test what underground and underwater detonations would do. And surely enough, when they are near fault lines, they can cause tremors to happen, quakes to happen. And this is why we see these very suspicious quakes on dates again and again that sync up with the location. It's clockwork. There's only so many ways this can be done. So thank you for that feedback. I'd like to hear from more people. You know, maybe somebody out there going, well, that's just one person. But let's hear from more people in the area. We need people to start speaking out about what they're observing, talking about, these abnormalities. Get the word out about what's really going on. Put the pieces of the puzzle together. Also, want to send a thank you to the man who built this store full of Gematria merchandise. For years, I've said we'd have the coincidence theorist gear. Well, it's finally here. We got t-shirts, we got hats, we got mugs. I'm going to make sure I got enough money to pay my bills this month, and then I'm going to pick up some of these hats, We got the What is 47 campaign. I'm going to start sporting this stuff in my videos once I have it. So, got to get out the word, and merchandise is a good way to do it. He set this up so that the prices, to me, honestly, the prices look a little bit expensive. The stuff's supposed to be high quality. The deal is that 5% of the sale price goes to yours truly. So 5% of $23, that's 5 cents per dollar. So $23 times 5 cents, that means $1.15 of that sale would go to me. That's not a lot, but you know what? That's okay, because just having people out there wearing this stuff, promoting the title of the book, promoting the blog, promoting the radio show, what is 47? This is the objective. So this doesn't earn that much money for me per sale, but that's fine. The stuff's supposed to be high quality, so it's not going to fall apart. And again, it gets the word out there. 5% of each sale goes to me. That's a nickel per dollar. So perfectly fine. Coincidence theorist doesn't exactly promote anything that I'm doing, but still, it's just one of those phrases where people say, they'll be like, coincidence theorist. And then if you're someone with the knowledge, you can say, yeah, you might be a coincidence theorist. Or maybe you don't want to put it that way unless you know that person is a coincidence theorist, but, there's all sorts of coincidences you could start talking about. It's a conversation starter. So, fridge magnets, this one makes me laugh here. Could probably make one of those with every nation's flag of the world behind it. And this man's going to continue to add more products to the website as it's up. Very trustworthy person, very helpful person. Unfortunately, he had a great Gematria news website, but it was just taken down by the feds, it looks like, after I got my visit. But I'm sure he can bring it back, so. The merchandise store is going to be linked in the description of every video I made. I just set up the channel so that every single video I produce, it just automatically links where you can get the book, the merchandise store. I should have done that a long time ago. But now every video that's produced, it'll be there. Also, just in case you haven't heard me talk about this somehow before, the book that I've spent the last 5 years writing, I released it this March. It was supposed to come out in paperback and hardback, but the publisher walked out. I haven't been able to find a publisher yet. I've put it out in electronic form on Etsy. It's the only place I can sell the book as I want it to be, with all the headlines, artwork, everything that needs to be in there. And because it's an electronic book, it's just $5. It's 773 pages. You can read it on your phone, on your computer. All you need is a PDF reader, which is free. And the nice thing about PDF is it's real quick to do a search to find exactly what you're looking for in the book. It's also easy to keep track of what page you're on. And again, everybody has a PDF reader. That's why I put it out in this format. What would be helpful is if more people purchased it so I could start going to publishers, with some bargaining chips like, look at how many people bought this book. The publisher that backed out on me is probably laughing at me because I said they're making a big mistake. I said that I have a lot of people that follow me. A lot of people are going to want to get this book. You could be missing out on 10,000 sales in a relatively short period of time. And, that whole argument was going on in February and March. And I don't know if they're paying attention or not, but the book hasn't even reached 1,000 sales yet. And I have a feeling if it was out in paperback form, a lot more people would have bought it. But, I think most people can make the donation of $5 to get this book. It's well worth $5, even in electronic form. You don't want to read on your computer, just print it out chapter by chapter. I'm sure most of you have printers at home. Just print it front and back. Be efficient with your paper. Put it on the grayscale of printing so you don't use much ink. You can do it cost effectively. And then after you read the chapters, you can always pass them out to your friends. I don't know anybody who could read chapter 1 of my book and not get intrigued. I tried to make this book great from the start, easy to understand, intuitive, and then just build from there. That's the exact way the book's written. So, the other thing is, everyone who signed up for the Patreon, thank you. When I first set this up, there were more than double as many subscribers. There was over $2,000 a month monthly stream. You guys really helped me out because when I set up all this stuff, I was completely broke. And you guys helped me pay my bills and get back in a better place. And a lot of you have ended your subscription because you got the book and because I haven't been putting very much content up here. And I apologize for that. Patreon's not as good of a platform as I thought it would be. What I understand Patreon's good for is putting out a podcast. And that's what I'm going to start doing very shortly. I have the radio show every Wednesday night. I want to start getting out more content that people can just listen to on their phones, in their car, whatever. So I'm going to start putting out a podcast every weekend. I'm going to put it on here, and I'm going to try to build it up to a daily podcast. And here's what I'm looking at right now. I'm in a really fortunate position financially because I have no debt. Everything's paid off. This house that I moved into, it's funny, it's a lot nicer than my old house, but it's completely paid off. That's because real estate's location, location, location. I used to live in Seattle where real estate costs a ton, and now I live in the middle of nowhere where real estate doesn't cost very much at all. So I was able to sell my house in Seattle and move out here to the middle of nowhere and have enough money to pay off this house, plus pay off, other debts I had, and pretty much just be even. So now I have to pay my monthly bills, food, etc. And anyway, if I can get an income stream up to about $30,000 a year, that'll be comfortable for me. A lot of people would want more than $30,000 a year, but if I have $30,000 a year, I can take care of everything I need and have a little bit of extra money for a rainy day. So what I'm saying is, for this Patreon, I can end up putting a lot into this Patreon. I can start doing a daily podcast, figure out how to make the live stream work. I have to invest to make the live stream work on here. And if I have an income, that's not a problem coming through this thing. But I've just realized I'm in this town where the only job that really pays anything that I'm qualified for is teaching, which I'm now banned from in this town. I can't teach here in this small town. They won't tell me why, but I think we know the reason why. And pretty much every other job in this town pays between $12 and $15 an hour, and they're jobs like working on a farm or working in a warehouse or, working at a fast food restaurant. I don't want to spend my time, unloading boxes, picking vegetables. Not to say that works, beneath me. I can do that work. I don't mind doing simple labor jobs. It's just that with this knowledge that I put out and that I'm efficient at doing, I feel like this is what I should be doing with my time. I think that's more important than me unloading packages in the FedEx warehouse. And I think most people would agree with that. So a comparable salary to doing that is about $30,000 a year. If you guys can help me get this Patreon up to $30,000 a year, that means, what is that? That's $2,500 a month. That's where we were when I first set it up. If we can get this back up to $2,500 a month, I'll be able to say, look, I'm blacklisted from the best job in this town, which pays $50,000 a month. That's if I was teaching. The next thing available in this town to me is about $30,000 a year. Why not just do it, doing the work that I already do and get paid to do that? And if you guys want to help me make more than that, I'm all for it because, again, I don't have any bills to pay. Pretty much everything in my life is squared away financially. I just need money to live month to month and, some extra things here to keep the girlfriend happy. You know how it is if you got a significant other in your life. Women like nice things here and there. It's the way women are, at least most women. But, even on $30,000 a year, I can do that. But if we had more than that, if let's say all of a sudden, the whole world really wanted to help me out and we had $10,000 coming in a month, guess what I would do? I would go out and I would rent out one of these empty office spaces. I would set up a Gematria school right there. Gematria after school tutoring. Let's just get a business going. Let's get it out there in the city, get people asking questions. I could teach kids for free after school if enough money was coming in here. Rent the office space, set up this free after school learning center, children and adults. Hire another person. Be nice to hire some people to help get this work out as well too, Multiply. So all of these things can happen if there's financial support. We live in a world where things take money, I wish it wasn't that way. Also, a lot of you have said, Zach, I bought the book for $5. This book's awesome. It's worth way more than $5. I want to give you more. For all of you who feel that way, you can donate through PayPal. PayPal is a safe thing to use on the web, For those of you who are sketched out about, internet shopping, if you just pay attention to the card you use in your statements. Most cards, they guarantee their service against fraud. You just need to find a card like that. And as someone who's made purchases on the web since I was in college, going back to the early 2000s, I have never had any credit card or debit card fraud on the web. Not a single time, not once. Credit card fraud happens a lot more often using your credit card at a scandalous place, such as in Miami. Miami's a really bad place to use your credit card. case you didn't know that. There's other places like that too. If you ever go to Miami, don't use your credit card. Promise you that. You have a very high chance of credit card fraud in Miami. I once had my credit card used to buy $10,000 worth of guns at a Walmart in Miami. Isn't that awesome? But I didn't have to pay any of that. My credit card took care of it for me. So anyway, all of these things are going to be linked in every video. Merchandise store, where to get the book, if you want to support the Patreon, if you want to donate on PayPal. And I will be grateful. Trying to make a comeback here. You know? Trying to not get censored. And the other thing is with financial resources, then I could build a high quality website where I could afford the hosting to upload my own videos. Then I wouldn't have to worry about getting censored again. To have your own website with enough storage to upload videos costs a fortune. So, you know, maybe not even the most efficient use of money, but if there were resources coming in, it'd be in the realm of possibility. So thank you again, everyone. Appreciate all the support. Feels good to be back, getting out the content. But we got a long ways to go. Till next time, Truth Seeker.